Apple knows something the rest of us don't, and I just figured out what it is. They consciously ignore emerging design trends and instead focus on the three principles of great design. And I'm not talking movement, hierarchy, flow, none of that. I'm talking principles that have stood the test of time since the dawn of time. I'm talking simplicity, consistency, and user-centric design. Now hold on. Before you skip the video, consider the fact that if you really understood how to use those principles, you would be unable to make bad design just like Apple and me. But since you don't, and that's fine, really, it's alright. It happens to the best of us. Not me though, but yeah, the best of us. Now, we're going to explain those three principles while taking this layout that needs help and turning it into this one that is inequitably sublime. I just forgot my lines. But anyhow, let's do it. Now, let's take a look at this layout through the lens of simplicity, consistency, and user-centric design, just like Apple uses it. And simplicity has to do with decluttering a layout. So everything on the layout serves a purpose of form and function, meaning every element on the layout has to make the layout look good and work good as well. And judging by that metric, we can all agree that this layout is anything but simple. It is very noisy, and I can't tell if it's a poster or a user interface design. Now, just on this hero section here, we have 5 different fonts and we have 8 colors. That is insane. Talk about simplicity and consistency. This layout couldn't care less about those principles. I mean, this whole section here is the navbar. And when I saw it first, I really thought that this was like, you know how websites sometimes have ads displaying on the top, like right above the navbar. I thought that's what was going on here. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's the navbar. And then we have this weird repetition of things, and the grouping is just redundant. So here we have jobs, yeah, and we have tech companies, and they have remote, tech topics, salaries, learn, right? Now the jobs link is an accordion, which should contain the tech companies and then the remote and salaries as well, right? So now here we just need to have jobs, articles, tech topics, whatever, and then learn, right? And then this call to action here, find my tech hub. I don't really know what that means. So let's say it's meant to be a button for you to find jobs around you. Then you can just have jobs around me as the call to action. This is unnecessary. Having join and login and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 call to actions here. That is more than a lot. That is insane. Now, to talk of user-centric design. Now, people have this misconception about user-centered design. People think it's making minimalistic work, like stripping everything to the basic wireframe look. No, it's about making user interfaces that are intuitive, and that is a buzzword. So intuitive means making user interfaces that have a natural flow to them. So the things the user expects to happen, that's what happens when they come to your website or application. Now, when designing, you have to take into account what it is that users come on your sites to do, and then you have to help them accomplish that goal as quickly as possible. And on job sites like this, the users come to find jobs, and the search section is like the most important thing. And granted, job seekers often have more patience than the usual users. They would use anything in front of them to get the job they're looking for. So, but even then, we should help them out a bit. This search bar here should be like the center of focus. Everything else, like this layout, needs nothing else but this Everything else comes secondary to it. And now it has to fight for attention with all of these other call to actions. All right. So I think we can all agree that this layout needs just a little bit of love. So let's fix it. Now, I already designed this, so I'll just pull in the components and walk you through my thought process behind them, which is really all that matters. But first, we have to set up the grid, and I always use a 5-column grid with a 35 pixel margin from the lefts and rights, just so. Yeah, and I almost never use the columns, but like when it comes in handy, it comes in handy. Now I'm going to pull in the navbar and make sure that's aligned to the top. So we have 22 pixels from the top. I don't know why, but 22 pixels always looks nice enough. Now the first thing you'd notice is the fact that let me put this a bit closer. So that up. First thing you notice is the fact that I took away the colors from the gradient colors from the logo and all of that. And the main reason for that is that when I'm designing, I like to start with just black and white colors. And then when I'm done with the design, I then introduce more colors to it once I have a working layout. That's the first reason. And the second is, why the heck would anyone use the gradients on a logo in 2025? Why? Oh, well, that happens. For the look of the layouts, I wanted to go for like the Apple feel, of course, clean typography, clean layouts. So I want to have the navbar first in that direction so that it helps me walk through the rest of the layout and check the rest of the layouts against that navbar to make sure everything looks cohesive. So now I have had this setup where we have this background and the jobs, instead of having the long list of items here on the navbar, we just have the jobs with an accordion, which would open up to display the companies, the salaries, and the remote jobs. And then the tech articles with a number of the articles currently published, and then the learn, whatever is going to be there. And then we have the jobs around me to replace Find My Tech Hub, and then login, so that when you click on login, and if you are not signed up yet, you can then sign up from there, sort of having the login and sign up on the same screen. That doesn't work. Now we have the navbar all set up. Let's head on to the rest of the layout now. All right, if you are enjoying the video so far and you'd like to give back to the community, ta-da! I am the community. Please like and subscribe. Now, what I like to do when working on the layout is to figure out the hierarchy of the information. What is the most important piece of information or action on this website, and how am I going to make it so that is the user's go-to? Now, for this website, the most useful thing here is the job search thing. So the search bar. Now, after that, we have the call to the header text, which serves as some form of tagline and a call to action as well. And then we have the stats, of course, 33,000 startups, and the rest of them. So let's translate that to design. Let's first turn this off, because let's turn it off. It's starting to hurt my eyes a bit. So let's pull in the search bar, make sure that's positioned properly. Search for the job title and then enter the city or districts, and then you can click on the find jobs button. This button needs a bit of adjusting, but I like the flow and connecting this here. I think that looks really nice. So let's pull in the rest of the layouts. Now, the next thing on the hierarchy that we created is the header text and the metrics. So now we have tech trends, job plus companies, and jobs plus companies, and we have learn, grow, build your career, and then the stats And these are the next things that kind of solidifies the information architecture of the layout. So we have what the user wants to do, which is search, and then we have this proof that the layout, the website is what they claim to be. So they have this available job and whatnot. And now we have the basic structure of the layouts in place. We can now begin to add things to make the layout look better and kind of solidify the concept. Now we have can notice that this space here, just the layout is unbalanced. It's not even about being asymmetrical, it's just visually unbalanced right now. And when I have something like this, this is where you pull in the important scroll text to remind the user to scroll, right? So let's do that now. I'll pull in the scroll, make sure that's aligned, and now that looks a bit more balanced. Not a bit more, it looks very balanced. Yeah, the scroll text always works. And now that we have this layouts, everything that is necessary is here. Everything else on this from this point onwards should make the layout work better and look better. Now, this is a pretty solid layout. If you had a background image of some sort, this would be amazing and good to go. But now it's looking a bit empty, if you ask me, and we can do something about that. So to make this layout look even better, we have two options. So let's duplicate this layout twice, right? This is, yeah. And now we can either have the background image or we can add something else to the layout to bring in more life. So let's do it here. Select this and paste something else, right? First we have to move, oh boy, first we have to move this a bit, go away, then paste that in and then align that properly. And let's eyeballing down. We have more and the layout looks a bit more cool and intentional. And then the next option we have is to add the background image to the layout. So let's add in the background image here. Make sure that's at the bottom. And now that creates a new problem because now this looks weird. Having this right on top of the image now looks odd in some way. So the way I fix this is to make this search box into sort of a glass morphism effect. All right, so let's do that. So now we have this instead. It still needs some love, but yeah, we can work from here. And this is when we can start to introduce color to the layout and have things pop more and yeah, be more. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point, so let's just get on with it. So let's add color to this one, and we have this, and let's do the same for this one to see what we get. And we have this. Now you notice how adding the colors to this layout now reinforces an already strong layouts. It's not about using the colors as an escape, but to use the colors constructively to add more to the layouts, right? Yeah. And I just remembered I didn't talk to you guys about like my thought process for having this images fade out instead of like having a solid image all around. This is what it looks like when it's all solid. Ignore the text. And this may look good enough. I don't know, but like for me, it's just a bit too the space in here. It kind of feels blocked and capped. The space right here between these two, and now adding this rectangle to soften that kind of feels more cohesive in some ways to me. Well, you guys let me know what you think. This or this. Yeah. So all around, I think we have solid layouts from this. Both layouts you probably not use this image, find something more appropriate. But like, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. All right, if you found this video helpful, then you absolutely love the next one. Click somewhere down there. Enjoy it.